How Alix Earle became one of America's biggest creators. What if the secret to becoming one of the most famous creators in America wasn't a Hollywood movie, wasn't a billion-dollar company, and wasn't even a perfect life? What if it was simply being real? Because in a world where everyone online is trying to look perfect, one young woman built a massive audience by showing the messy, unfiltered, and sometimes completely chaotic side of her life. Her name is Alix Earle. Today, millions of people know her face, millions follow her lifestyle, and brands want her attention. But here's the real question. How did Alix Earle go from a college student making casual beauty videos to one of America's most influential creators and entrepreneurs? And more importantly, was her success just luck? Or did Alix understand something about the internet that most people completely missed? This is the story of Alix Earle. Before we talk about the fame, we have to go back to the beginning. Alix Earle grew up in New Jersey, and just like millions of other young people, she entered the world of social media. At first, she was not a movie star, she was not a famous singer, and she did not have a massive media company behind her. She was simply creating content, beauty videos, lifestyle videos, and what became known as "get ready with me" content. But there was something different about the way Alix appeared on camera. She did not always try to look perfect. She talked openly. She shared personal details. She showed the process of getting ready. And instead of making the audience feel like they were watching a celebrity, she made them feel like they were on FaceTime with a friend. That difference would become extremely important, because social media was changing. For years, influencers had tried to create perfect lives, perfect homes, perfect outfits, perfect smiles, perfect vacations. But Alix seemed to understand something. People were tired of perfection. They wanted connection. They wanted personality. They wanted someone who felt real. And that was the beginning of Alix Earle's rise. At the time, many people were creating beauty content. So why did Alix stand out? The answer is simple. She understood attention. Think about it. When someone opens a video, you have only a few seconds to keep them watching. Alix's content often felt casual, but behind that casual style was a very powerful idea. She made people curious. What was she going to say next? What product was she using? What was happening in her life? And most importantly, what would happen if you kept watching? This is one of the biggest secrets of social media. You don't always need the most expensive camera. You don't always need a huge studio. You need a reason for people to stay. And Alix gave people that reason. Her audience began to grow. Then something happened. Her name started appearing everywhere. People started sharing her videos. Fans began discussing her. And suddenly, Alix Earle was no longer just another creator. She was becoming a cultural phenomenon. At some point, Alix's influence became so powerful that people began talking about something called the Alix Earle effect. The idea was simple. If Alix used a product, people paid attention. If she talked about a brand, people searched for it. If she wore something, fans wanted to know where it came from. This is where Alix's story becomes extremely interesting, because she was not only building an audience, she was building trust. And trust is one of the most valuable things on the internet. A traditional advertisement says, "Buy this product." But when a creator builds a strong personal connection with an audience, the message feels completely different. People don't just see a product. They see a person they already know. And Alix understood that connection. This is why brands began paying attention. According to Forbes, Alix expanded beyond social media into areas including modeling, podcasts, beverages, marketing, investing, and her own skincare brand, Real Actives. But here's the important part. Alix did not stop at becoming famous. She started thinking like a businesswoman. A lot of creators become famous, and then they make one big mistake. They depend completely on the platform that made them famous. But platforms change, algorithms change, trends disappear, and audiences move. Alix appeared to understand this. Instead of only posting videos, she began building a brand around herself. Her personality became the brand, her audience became the community, and her influence became a business opportunity. She became involved with major brands and beverage companies. She also built her own skincare business, Real Actives. And this is where the story gets even more impressive. Because there is a huge difference between being an influencer and becoming a founder. An influencer asks, "How can I promote this product?" A founder asks, "What product should exist?" That change in mindset can completely transform a career, and Alix began moving in that direction. Forbes reported that she has expanded her business portfolio and was ranked number 16 on its 2026 top creators list, with reported 2026 creator earnings of $12 million. Now, here's the question. Was Alix successful because she was already famous? Or did she become successful because she knew how to turn attention into opportunity? The answer is probably both. Let's be honest. Millions of people are attractive. Millions of people make videos. Millions of people want to become influencers. So why does one person become huge? Personality. And Alix's biggest advantage may not be her appearance. It may be her ability to make people feel included. When she speaks to her audience, the content often feels personal, not like a formal interview, not like a television commercial, more like a conversation. And that is incredibly powerful, because people do not always follow the most talented person. Sometimes, they follow the person they feel connected to. Think about your favorite creator. Why do you watch them? Maybe they are funny. Maybe they are inspiring. Maybe they teach you something. Or maybe you simply feel like you know them. That feeling is the secret. And Alix created that feeling at a massive scale. Her audience didn't just watch her life. They followed the journey, the good moments, the awkward moments, the exciting moments, and the moments that were not perfect. That is what made the content feel human. Alix also expanded her world through her podcast, Hot Mess. The podcast became another way for her to share her life and conversations with her audience. Apple Podcasts describes the show as a mix of vlogs, grums, guests, and personal life content. And the name Hot Mess was actually perfect, because it represented something many people could relate to. Nobody's life is perfect. Everyone has embarrassing moments. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has days when nothing goes according to plan. And in a world full of carefully edited content, being a hot mess can actually feel refreshing. This is another reason Alix became so popular. She did not try to create the image of a perfect human being. She created the image of a real person living a very public life. And the internet connected with that. Now, let's take a step back. Because Alix Earle's story is not only about beauty, or TikTok, or fame. There is a serious business lesson here. Alix understood her audience. She understood what they cared about. She understood the type of content they wanted to watch. And most importantly, she understood attention. Today, attention is currency. If you can capture attention, you have an opportunity. But attention alone is not enough. You need to know what to do with it. Alix turned attention into partnerships. She turned partnerships into opportunities. And she began moving into ownership. That is a huge difference. Many people want to become famous, but the smartest creators ask a different question. What can I build with this audience? That is the question Alix appeared to answer, and this is probably the most important lesson from her journey. Section 7: The reality of fame. But becoming famous is not always easy. When millions of people watch you, millions of people also have opinions about you. Every outfit can be judged. Every relationship can become a headline. Every mistake can be recorded. And suddenly, your personal life is no longer completely private. This is the dark side of internet fame. The more successful you become, the more people feel entitled to discuss your life. Some people love you, some people criticize you, and some people simply wait for you to make a mistake. Alix's journey shows how quickly the internet can turn a normal person into a public figure. One day, you are creating videos from your own life. The next day, millions of strangers are discussing you, and that kind of attention can be difficult to handle. But Alix continued building, she continued creating, and she continued expanding her career. So let's answer the biggest question. What makes Alix Earle different? Is it her beauty? Maybe. Is it her lifestyle? Possibly. But I believe the biggest reason is she understood the power of being relatable. She didn't look at social media like a television show. She treated it like a conversation, and that changed everything. She made the audience feel like they were part of the story. And when people feel like they are part of your story, they don't just watch. They come back, they share, they talk, and they become loyal. This is the difference between having followers and building a community. Now, imagine you are watching Alix's story from the outside. You see the success, the fame, the business deals, the lifestyle, and it can be easy to say, she was lucky. But that explanation is too simple, because luck may open a door, but it does not guarantee success. You still have to understand the moment. You still have to create consistently, and you still have to evolve. The internet changes every single day. What works today may fail tomorrow, and creators who refuse to change can disappear very quickly. Alix continued evolving from beauty content to lifestyle, from lifestyle to podcasts, from podcasts to business, and from being a creator to becoming a founder. That evolution is the real story. Final emotional music. So, how did Alix Earle become one of America's biggest creators? The answer is not one viral video. It is not one lucky moment. And it is not simply about being beautiful. Her story is about understanding people, understanding attention, and understanding the power of authenticity. Alix Earle became famous by making millions of people feel like they were watching a friend. But she became a businesswoman by realizing something much bigger. That attention can become an opportunity. And maybe that is the biggest lesson from her story. You do not always need to be the most talented person in the room. You do not always need the biggest budget. And you do not need to wait for someone to give you permission. Sometimes, you simply need to understand what people want Be brave enough to be yourself, and keep building, because the next big creator may not be famous yet. Maybe they are watching this video right now. Maybe they are making their first video. Maybe nobody knows their name yet. But if Alix Earle's story teaches us anything, it is this: one person, one phone, and one authentic idea can change everything. End screen. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel, because there are many more incredible creator success stories coming soon. And remember, success doesn't always start with a perfect plan. Sometimes, it starts with simply pressing record